Hey, what's up? Britton here. In my last video, I talked about Tinder and why it's rad and why it works. But actually, in this video, I'm going to talk about why the difference between Tinder and Bumble and why Bumble is actually better, despite the fact that Bumble has fewer users. But it is a fast growing app, and I think it'll catch up with Tinder eventually. And I think that's a good thing because I think it gets right what Tinder actually gets wrong. So basically, they're the same exact app. You sign into them both using Facebook, although I think they're both working on a way to use the app without Facebook. It's just that it has like the general profile information already. So it just syncs with Facebook and it has all the necessary information already there. So you don't have to like fill out a big profile. You can just like put a little bio if you want, but it already has like your age, your job, your name, and like some pictures to choose from. I don't have Facebook, so I just made a fake account. And actually, I used a different name because I didn't want people to find my fake Facebook account and start adding it. And so I just used that account and I added my photos directly through the app because you can do that. So if you don't have a Facebook, it's not a big deal. Um, yeah, so I think the main thing that Bumble gets right that Tinder gets wrong is basically the reason Bumble exists, and that is that the girl has to message the guy first after you get matched. And I've done online dating quite a bit before. I've done like OkCupid and Tinder like before my last relationship that just recently ended. And it was the same story with Tinder and with OkCupid, is that girls get just inundated with messages. And so like a girl who's reasonably attractive is going to match up on Tinder with almost every single guy that she swipes right. Because guys just go on there and swipe the fuck out of hoes, you know? Like, so they get inundated with matches, and then messages come along with that, because guys generally message every girl that they match with. I mean, as far as, like, my experience has gone, and guys I've talked to. So girls get to the point where they just don't want to deal with it. They don't check their messages that often, and it's not a big deal when they get a message, you know? But when a guy gets a message, it is a fucking big deal, because generally, like, it's the guy preying on the girl, right? But with Bumble, the girl has to message the guy first, and I think that's good because, like, from an evolutionary standpoint, that's actually how relationships get started. Like, it's usually actually the girl who has the final say so in whether or not the relationship will continue, because guys just aren't that choosy, but girls are choosy. They're very selective. And like Jordan Peterson always says that that's why they call it Mother Nature, is because what is nature? Nature is that which selects, and that's what women do. They select their partner, and the way they select them is they select across and up dominance hierarchies. So you have like sort of a hierarchical structure in society, and some guys are at the bottom and other guys are at the top. And so based on how like intelligent or successful the woman is, she wants someone who is at least as intelligent and at least as successful as the man is. So a platform that gives a woman the power to choose more directly, because like it is kind of an indirect process, right? Like a lot of guys think, oh, like I chose my girlfriend or my wife, and like I was in control of that. It's like, yeah, but you could have chosen someone else, like, and had like in the same way and had a different effect. Women, generally speaking, all they have to do is say yes, and the guy is in. You know, guys just aren't as picky. So Bumble is better because it lets the girl choose, and that means fewer messages in her inbox because she only gets messages from people who she has already chosen to message. Now, one weird thing about Bumble, though, is that women do like, although they're choosy, some women don't like to be in control in that sense. Like, or it's more of a subconscious process for them to be choosy. They want the guy to take initiative. So I don't know. I don't know how that's going to play out in the long run. You know, maybe you can let me know, like in the comments below, like what you think the future of Bumble is, just based on the fact that women generally, although they can be the final say yes or no to a potential relationship, or even on a more specific level to sex, like what I don't know what Bumble's future is, being that they generally like the guy to take initiative, and that puts guys in a weird position too, though, because like unless the girl has given us like she's been upfront about what she wants out of a potential relationship or out of us in general, like we don't know whether or not we're going to get rejected, so that like fear of rejection actually really shapes the way that we behave in many different ways. And that's why like guys are more competitive as well, is because like we're trying to climb the dominance hierarchy in society, so that it's less likely that we'll get rejected by women. And like you may think like, oh, I'm just like passionate about what I do and all this stuff. It's like, yeah, or you're maybe very conscientious, like you're just very hardworking and you're industrious, and that means that you can't stand to, be unproductive, so there are many reasons for that. But like, yeah, I guess that's another thing. But generally speaking, yeah, I think Bumble trumps Tinder, although it doesn't have the user base that Tinder does yet, because of the reason it exists. It gives women the power that they already have in real life to be more selective with their mates. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I have on that. Cheers.